right, so welcome everyone. I'm Ann Russo with the Building Officials Association of Florida, and we want to thank you for joining us in today's webinar, How to Submit a Winning Awards Nomination, brought to you by the Awards Committee. Your presenters today are committee members Chair Luis Hernandez, committee members Claudio Grande, Linda Patrick, Bob Boyer, and Jennifer Johnson. So just a little housekeeping. This is a webinar. You can hear us, but we cannot hear you. If you have questions during the presentation, please type them into the question box in your Zoom. We will have time for questions at the end, and we will unmute your phones and you can talk to the presenters at that time. The session is being recorded and we hope to have it available on the website early next week. So without further ado, we'll turn the time over to our chair, Luis Hernandez.
Welcome. Thank you all for joining us. This is the first ever awards webinar, and I hope we can give you some information that'd be useful for you in order to make sure that the candidates that you choose to have or be the recipient of one of these awards gets chosen. And we have several documents that we're going to be sharing with you to let you know how we expect the nominations to be submitted to us and what we're going to be looking for. I'd like to let you all know why is it that that this is important for us. Well, we are the leaders of our industry, and we would like to make sure that those that are also by their peers noted to be exceptional get notified by us and be presented with an award that I think promotes them in their own respective fields. And I'm hoping that with this number of tidbits we're going to offer to you all, that actually happens. So I'd like to start off with Claudio Grande. He's going to explain to you what it is that we'll be looking for the category of building official. Claudio?
Thank you. Thank you, Luis. Good morning, everyone. I'd like to talk a little bit about what is it that you need to do and the guidelines that you need when you want to apply for somebody to be the Building Official of the Year award. So the Building Official of the Year award is given to a person whose contribution to the code enforcement profession is in a specific meritorious and worthy of recognition. It's not just given to a building official that he's a nice guy, he works great with his people, and that be it. You need to be specific, and I'm going to give you some of the guidelines of the things that you need to remember if you are going to be the one nominating a Building Official of the Year for this award. For example, the building official that is nominated must show professionalism and abilities and be an example to other members, not only of his own chapter, but of the association itself. And some of the requirements, I'm just going to go run through them. For example, he has to be a member in good standing of the association, BOAF. He also has to be licensed as Florida Statute 468 as a code administrator. And he has to be in the actual position of a building official, a deputy, or an assistant building official in the department that he works at or she works at. Some of the highlights of the nominee for building official to be shown on the application that you need to remember is, for example, is the person a member of the chapter? Is he an officer? Has he done anything special in the chapter that he belongs to? Has he served in any other committees, for example, for the state chapter, any of the committees that the state chapter has? Has he served? Has he been involved in the state chapter and his local chapter? What innovations has this person done in his own department that she or he works at? For example, has he, what are his relations with the staff? Has he done any community involvement? Has he done any programs to help the residents of the city that he works at or the municipality that he works at to promote the safety of the code, you know, that we enforce on a daily basis? Has he done any programs? Has he done anything special with the community that would outline his ability to be a good building official and merit this award? And finally, when you fill out the application, nominating this person for a building official award, you need to provide information on this person to the awards committee as the best BO of the association. Because remember, this person is going to be competing with other BO that are being promoted for this award. So you want to make your application special. You want to make sure that the committee, when he looks at this application, sees that this person is above and beyond a good building official, not just a great guy that works great with his staff or he does good for the community. You need to specify the good things that this person has done to make sure that he gets promoted for this award, because this is a meritorious award of the work that this person has done throughout the year. So finally, what I want to say is, when you fill out the application for a Building Official of the Year award, be creative, especially be truthful and be honest on the items that you put on the application. And I guarantee you that it will be successful. Thank you. Thank you for listening to me. And if you have any questions, we'll entertain some at the end. And now I'm going to turn it over to Louis. He's going to talk about the Plans Examiner of the Year award. Thank you.
Thank you, Claudio. I also wanted to add that this building officials award is not just for an acting building official. It could be, as Claudio mentioned, deputy official, assistant building official. Those are, as long as the individual has the license as a building official, that candidate will be allowed and could be presented. As myself, I still am the assistant building official in the city of Fort Lauderdale, but I was recipient of that award about 2 years ago. So that said, let me let you have some information about the plans examiner and what I'm going to be looking for. What kind of contributions has this person done to his building department? As the plans examiner, how has he stood out from the rest of the examiners in his building department? If you can give us any information as far as the size or scopes of the types of plans reviews that he has done or she has done, that would be helpful for us. If there is a longevity as far as how long the person has worked in this position, I would also like to see that as well. If there's any kind of interactions that he's had with any of the officials for the municipality, such as city managers or anything on complicated jobs that had to have been reviewed. Those are the type of things that I'd be interested in seeing on the nominated person. With that said, like we said, we're going to have the ability for you to ask questions at the end, but I'm going to read to you what it says about what we're looking for from our post. Currently, it's on the screen, but presented to a member who is consistently demonstrating the qualities and integrity of professionalism and dedication in his or her service to the profession, and whose personal standards represent the spirit of public service to the enforcement of codes and standards in the interest of public safety. The candidate will have demonstrated a commitment to increase job knowledge, competent enforcement, and assistance to fellow code officials and the public. The candidate shall be licensed under the Florida Statutes 468 as a plans examiner, working in a plans examiner's position, and a current member in good standing with our BOAF association. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Bob, and he's going to talk to you about what we'll be looking for as the inspector's nominations category.
Thank you, Louis. I want to thank everybody for being here. This is an important aspect for BOAF. It's important that we, present the awards and recognize our fellow workers and, put a little bit of a spotlight on them, because this is your association. So, we really want to move forward with it. And we want you to understand how we get to our decision. The Inspector of the Year is presented to the members who demonstrate the quality and the integrity and professionalism and dedication to his or her service to the profession, and whose personal standards represent the spirit of public service, and protecting the public safety. The candidate will have demonstrated a commitment to increase job knowledge, competent enforcement, assistance to fellow code officials and the public. The public is a big thing here. We want to know about the outreach, what they've done, you know, what associations, as the other gentlemen have said, what committees have they served on? This is all the type of stuff we need to see. The candidate shall be licensed under 468 of Florida statute as an inspector and working as an inspector and currently a member in good standing with Building Officials Association of Florida. There's, I mean, I know I'm repeating some of the things, just changing the words a little bit, but we really have to have as much good information as we can get to make a great decision, and that's what it's all about. There's the candidates, having served on the committee a couple of years, sometimes we get them, as they said, that they're really good guys, but we really need to know what they've done. How has their outreach went? Have they worked hurricane shows? Have they been at the public speaking to the different events around the cities and the different clubs? So please include as much as you can, because that's what helps us make the decision and the outcome you're looking for. Thank you. With that, I will turn it over to Lewis, I guess.
Well, thank you, Bob. If you don't mind, Ann, can you share the screen as far as our actual nomination form?
I can do that,
Thank you, Linda.
or I'll let Ann do that.
So you're seeing the BOAF website, and this is where you can download an application for your nominated person.
They're fillable, it's a fillable form online. But it gives you an idea of what information we're looking for.
And take note that everything has a little asterisk, meaning we need that information. So if you're going to fill out one of these, make sure that all of these categories are filled out for us. We do, as far as a complete application or an incomplete application, score those. And of course, the scoring process is, we'll also be sharing that screen with you. Linda's going to share that with you in a moment here. But we need to be able to score everything. Each one of those boxes gets scores from us. Make sure that you have a complete application. The more scores you get, the better and the higher your score is for the individual. Thank you. With that, Jennifer is our first recipient for a permit tech. So welcome, Jennifer, and you have the floor.
Thank you very much. Morning, everyone. I'm excited to be here to talk about the Permit Tech of the Year award. It is an amazing opportunity to bring some attention to your permit techs. So just remember, when you're doing your nomination, this is your chance to introduce your person to us. We don't know them personally, possibly, so you need to tell us all of the information that you can about them. So the Permit Tech of the Year award, it's presented to a member who consistently demonstrates qualities of integrity, professionalism, and dedication to in their service to the association, and also personal standards represent the spirit of public service. So you want to make sure that you're explaining to us in great detail all of those aspects of your permit technician. They also, the candidate has to be an ICC certified permit technician and currently working as a permit tech position and a member in good standing. When you're looking at the nomination form, a lot of times folks overlook some of the things that a permit tech does, or even an individual does in their community. We do work with the public in our work in our building departments, but how are they also involved in the community? It's a really good opportunity to highlight, and that helps us understand the integrity of that candidate as well. So I always like to see the causes that are important to them outside of working as well, because we want to make sure that we have a well-rounded candidate. So just make sure that you're including all of those details on the nomination form for all of those items.
And it's-
So oh, sorry, Lewis?
Continue, Jennifer. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, we all know that permit techs a lot of times don't get the attention and the recognition they deserve. So just make sure you take this opportunity to shine that light on them and give them the spotlight that they deserve. And every single one of these categories is important, but we're trying to make sure that everybody knows permit techs are here and we work really hard, and we want to see some recognition given to these individuals. So now we'll pass this on to Linda to talk about Member of the Year.
So good morning. The Member of the Year award is presented to what we used to call associate members. They're now considered commercial members. These are the people that help our organization, BOAF, to be who we are and assist us in so many ways. They are not licensed. They're not working like we do with a AHJ or a department, but these are the folks that will stand out and sit in these TAC meetings, help us out with code interpretations, help us out with the code process. So you probably have members within your chapters and everything that are not in our position, but they really spend a lot of time helping you out, your chapter, the state organization. These are the people that would fall under the Member of the Year award category. And in the past, we haven't had a good understanding of what this award is supposed to be for, where you've made some slight tweaks and changes. So the importance of this is that these are not licensed people as far as through meeting one of the other categories. It could be an engineer, it could be an architect, it could be a contractor, or just a representing some other agency, but they have stood up and stand for what we believe in and have assisted us or your chapter in some way. So that is what we are looking for the Member of the Year award. And again, if there's questions concerning that in the end, I also have the two other awards are Meritorious Service Award is specific to an individual, again, who has gone way above and beyond, and it can be anyone whose contributions to the Building Officials Association are meritorious and worthy of recognition, and has given unselfishly of his or her time and talent in furthering the goals of the association. This award can be to anybody in as far as that you have felt has promoted and have benefited as far as what BOAF. It could be a legislator who has gone way above and beyond to help support the bills that we are looking at. It could be a regular member, a building official, a plans examiner, but that person has spent so much time of their own going beyond just being a wonderful inspector and worthy of the Inspector of the Year award, but they have provided so much to the state organization that this person needs to be recognized. And that's the type of person we are looking for the Meritorious Service Award. The Robert K. Becker Memorial Lifetime Achievement Award is a really special award. It's named in honor of the first executive director of the Building Officials Association and is presented to a member whose contribution to the building safety industry have advanced the building officials' goals of achieving the safer built environment. Particular emphasis is placed on the recipient's total career and their focus beyond local or regional concerns to issues and activities that span the state and country. The individual will have been or is currently a leader in the industry and have a legacy of service with integrity, professionalism, and compassion. The past winners, let me see if I can pull up that so that you can see. Sorry. I know you can't see where I'm at on my screen. Let me shift it.
Linda, do you want me to share my screen? I've got it
Yes,
ready.
please, if you've got it up.
All right.
So as you can see, these two specific types of awards are not handed out on a regular basis. The names that you see under the Robert K. Becker Lifetime Achievement, if you have been anywhere within the organization, you have probably heard a name or two. Hopefully you've heard of all of them because all of them has done so much for where the Building Officials Association is now that we'd like to recognize them. So if you have a special person or if you know of somebody that has not been recognized for what BOAF really is, not just for the state, but has gone above and beyond into, I'll throw it out, the old SBCCI and the ICC, and has thrown their name out and put their time in so that people know who the Building Officials Association of Florida is. This is that award. So look around you, look around, think of names that you have heard or have seen for numerous years, and please consider submitting for that award. And that takes care of all our award categories.
Thank you, Linda. It's nice to have your input since you being our former chair. Thank you for passing the baton, by the way. You do a wonderful job. I also wanted to, let's say, Jennifer, you wanted to speak about recognitions?
Absolutely. This is the fun part. I get to talk about what amazing things await these, award recipients. So, the award recipients enjoy our VIP treatment. So we are really excited to celebrate them. And the VIP treatment does include the registration fees to the annual conference and expo, as well as hotel accommodations and parking at the event, and where the award is bestowed. During the conference, the recipients are brought on stage in front of hundreds of people to receive this wonderful award, as well as just knowing that you are being chosen and you're the best of the best, and we're all there to celebrate you. as a past recipient of the award, I can tell you that it's overwhelming. The attention that you get, and then just everyone celebrating you in that room. So we are very excited to bestow all of those wonderful things on the award winners. And I think I covered them all. I'm gonna make sure. Yes. But again, just that being able to highlight and know that you were chosen as the best candidate in each of those categories, and just a recognition. And then going forward, you're recognized in the room a lot of times as far as in the future, people will remember that you were an award winner, and then you've now set the bar another step higher for the next round of award winners. So we're very excited to give those awards to the recipients.
Thank you, Jennifer. I just wanted to add, BOAF is the #1 organization for our industry in the state. You have local chapters, but getting an award from BOAF is really significant, and I want to say it could catapult your career. So being nominated and then actually obtaining one of these awards is not a thing to be overlooked. This is a big deal. When I had mine, my city manager came, took a photograph with me. It was paraded around our local news here in within the city of Fort Lauderdale. So, and it was a wonderful experience for me. And it could be for anybody that you think is worthy of that. So if you don't mind, Linda, telling us what we need for an approved complete submission.
Wonderful. So I'm going to share my screen again. So throughout the next month or so, you will be seeing some emails being sent out by the state organization saying, please submit. And it will take you to the link online. If you already know who you want to do, then you can go ahead and go into the nomination forms and take a look at it. The directions are there as far as our descriptions and the categories. There is separate nomination form for the Robert K. Becker Lifetime Achievement. It's only because that is such a special award, we decided that it needed some separate. But you click the link and it will take you to that screen. And again, it's a fillable form. We are looking for all that information to be provided to us. On the regular forms, we've got some drop-down box. So it specifically gives you the opportunity to say, okay, building official of the year, who the nominee is that you are wanting to do it, what their title is, and it's showing you some, so who they work for, contact information. It's this information down here that it's just not one line that we are looking for. We need as much information. Don't overload, don't repeat, but give us as much information of what makes this person so special. And then if you have attachments or letters from various groups or organizations that you want to, you have the opportunity to submit those to us. But we're looking for office innovations activities. It's just not, oh, Joe, he's such a great guy, I really appreciate who he is. That's great, but it doesn't tell me why or what he has done within his organization or group to make him so special. We are looking to see whether or not they have chapter membership or not, and their involvement in the local chapter. We will get in the past applications that has very little information or local chapter involvement. Yes. Well, what do they do? You know, have they held officers' positions? Have they chaired committees? Do they get out there every year for your golf tournament and hand out water or things? That's the information we're looking for. It's the same with state membership and state activities. Are they on a TAC committee? Are they on one of our committees? Do they support the state in some way as far as through the association? And then we added the community involvement because we feel not only should they be a wonderful person for their department, but how have they, are they also active in some way in the community? Do they work with Habitat for Humanity? Do they go and read to the elderly or to the kids? Find out, dig deep, ask questions. You need to know as much about your nominee as we need to. And then, of course, your information. You fill out the blanks, you submit, and then it comes to the central office. And when the time is right, we get all this information with these nomination criteria, and we go through them in the end. So once we get them, we have a matrix, scoring matrix that we look at to make a determination, and we have our members of the committee. And so we look at each of those items and we score 1 through 5, depending on what the submittal is. So, you know, the application, how complete is the application? Well, if you put something in all 5, in all of the blocks, depending on how well it's filled out, you can get anywhere between a 3 and a 5. If you answered yes, great guy, don't know, that application is not complete, and so you'll get a lower score. You'll normally get a 1, or you may not get anything if we do not have something to show whether or not you filled it in. So it's very important that you take that fillable form and fill it out, because this will show you how we look at the responses. We each determine 1 through 5, how good that response is, and we score it. The matrix itself adds it up for us, so people like me don't make mistakes in adding things up. We'll get a total, and the person with the most points is the one that we consider as far as for winning that award for that year. If there is a tie, we get together and we make a determination what section might outweigh why this person, and because of this section or this submittal, really promotes who we want it to be. And that's all handled through the committee, and then we pass along to Anne the information, and she sends out the notifications. So the scoring is very specific. We have guidelines, and we take these guidelines very seriously. So that's about it. That's what we look for in a successful submission, so that we can review it and score appropriately.
Thank you, Linda. Appreciate
No
that.
problem.
You know, with the hundreds of applications that we receive, there is something very important that we also have to discuss, which is the deadline for the submissions. Anne, can you go over the deadline timeline?
Sure. The deadline is midnight at March 8th, midnight. And what that does is we have a hard stop, and then we have to compile all the information, then we send it out to the committee. So midnight on the 8th of March.
Okay, well, midnight it is on the 8th that we're going to be then starting our tally and our counting.
Mhm.
I don't know if at midnight I'm going to be up to start doing that, but okay, so be it. So we'd like to open up to anybody that might have any questions that are wondering what they can provide to us to maybe help you determine what it is that you need to put on your application. Is there anybody with any questions, Anne?
So if
Or
you have any
Celeste?
questions, about what we've covered today, you can raise your hand or type it into the Q&A. Celeste can unmute you if you want to, speak with the committee. We can do that. I'm not seeing any. So, but I do want to say thank you to this committee for putting this webinar together. It's good information. It's good to have.
If there are no more questions or any questions at all, thank you all for attending, those that are attending, and for the panelists. Thank you so very much on our first ever webinar. I think it went well. Until next year.